Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the best videos that you have ever watched on YouTube. Now, I know that you just clicked this YouTube video. You're going to say, Justin, I clicked this video because I want to see you cold call the CEO of a company that makes over $5 million a year and set an appointment. Why am I seeing you dancing? Well, it's because I'm so freaking excited. I have the entire raw recording of me picking up my phone, dialing a CEO's number that I've never met before, and within 11 minutes, I have formed a bond with this individual to the point where he trusts me so much that he's already offering to pay me his hard-earned money after hearing my offer. Okay, so you are going to learn all the secrets of cold calling. I've cold called for a couple years now. I'm very good at it. I don't want to sell this any more than I already have. I have the raw recording. Let me just make my little face cam here smaller in my OBS. Okay, that should be good. And I have the raw recording. It's going to be a detailed breakdown just right before we get into it, just so you have context. The offer that I'm cold calling for, it was a high intent business to consumer database. So what this means, just really quickly before we get into it, people that want to market their local business or any business to consumer company, they use data that I was selling in their Facebook ads, Google ads, cold calling, and they get cheaper appointments or cheaper CPM, whatever metric you want to look at. Let's get right into it. Okay. How are you doing today?
Alright.
I'm living the dream too. Hey, with Broadway, does that mean you guys have Broadway actors for all your jobs actually servicing?
No.
I'm just making a joke. I'm a 20-year-old founder. I just wanted to ask a quick question about the technology that Broadway uses. If you have a second, I wouldn't be long.
Okay.
Okay, the first application point, ladies and gentlemen. If you notice, almost every single sales training video, cold calling video, everyone teaches the same shit. They teach you to pick up the phone and say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, can I have 30 seconds and I will give you my pitch? Okay? And if you do what everyone else is doing, guess what? Guess what, guys? Guess what? You will get the same results that everyone else has. So what am I relating this to? If you starting it with a very unique joke that I guarantee any salesperson or any telemarketer has never told. It's so corny, right? I picked up and his name had to do with Broadway. So I said, hey, are your employees, are they also Broadway actors? Ha ha ha. And if you noticed, 5 seconds right before here, he's more susceptible to actually listen to my pitch and at least understand who I am now because I have him laughing. I'm giving him value through positive energy. Okay, so a really simple thing you can do at the start of any cold call, if you can give someone value, whether that's making them laugh, whether it's a weird fact about their city where they'll go, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I don't think a sales guy's ever said anything like that. You will have a pattern interrupt and you will buy yourself more time, way more than if you just have a generic pitch that you're just following one-to-one and you don't even know how it works. First lesson here. Be funny, be yourself, give value, and don't just have a generic pitch. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Okay, so with Broadway, I know you guys probably get pitched like 24 hours a day about having someone run your Google ads or Facebook ads, so don't worry, I won't give you any big pitch, but my question is pretty simple. Do you currently have a way to reach potential customers in the service area that are actively needing pest control, or is Broadway more so just kind of focus on referrals and word of mouth?
No, No, you do all that already, though. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. You do. Okay, so you're running Facebook ads and Google ads currently.
Yes.
Okay. So really quickly, Gene, what we do is we don't interfere with your Google ads or your Facebook ads, nothing like that. But we would supply you a list of everyone in the area that within the last couple hours have searched for either you or your competitors. What pest control company should I go to? And then the result is you can plug that data into your current ads, and our customers tell us that the CPMs are much lower because it's kind of like a sniper rifle approach instead of a shotgun approach, if that makes sense. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but is that something you're open to?
I don't do any of this shit. I have a company.
Okay, before we get to the second objection that I also handled, of course I handled it. If you guys noticed, and that first objection, right? Oh, Justin, we already have a company to handle all of this. Most sales guys out there, they think too much about objections, right? So that, oh, you already have another company. Well, we're actually better than them. Blah, 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 blah. And they just yap about nonsense. If you noticed, after he said that, I just stayed calm, man. I just stayed calm. Oh, you already have another company. Oh, okay, gotcha. Real quick. Oh, you do. Blah, 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 etc. And that is the key to handling objections. Because they're not really objections. You just have to, when you get the objection like I did here, okay, you already got it. Yep, completely understand. You have a company that does that. Really quickly, just so you know, what we do is blah, 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 blah. And I just keep it pushing and I remain calm. And it helps because I have a unique product that really is different from just Google ads or Facebook ads. So that helps a lot because we are unique. So it's easy for me to just play on the fact that we're actually different from whatever he's doing now. But you can do this even if your product is similar to what they're using. There's always little bits about your product that is different from whatever your lead is currently using. And play to that. Play to how it is different. Because let me tell you something, CEOs always want to know about different products and new technology. Okay, so let's keep it pushing.
It does it. You'd have to somehow work with them, but
okay.
I mean, that's the thing is that they're my pest control marketing. There's a whole arm. A lot of industries do this.
Yeah.
My marketing department is the same as a lot of pest control companies' marketing departments. And they're pest control specialists. They were pest control operators themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they handle all SEO. They handle all the Facebook. They do the website.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is something, it seems like it's something different.
Yes, exactly. And it's not a standard Facebook ads or Google ads approach.
What do I do with that data once I have it?
Well, there's a couple of things. You can either reach out. It's your choice at the end of the day. You can either have yourself or your team reach out to those leads directly via a text or a cold call, or what a lot of our customers in the pest control niche do is they show Google ads and Facebook ads to that data instead of Google's or Facebook's data, and the result is
the follow tracking cookies shit, that kind of thing. You mean?
Yes, it's based off of cookies and.
Wherever you go, you see that company.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. It's we have a large publisher network, so we can essentially we track. It sounds crazy. We track hundreds of millions. About 90% of every American in the U.S. We track their intent, and then we see this person in.
Canadian.
Pardon?
You're not almost Canadian?
No, we don't track Canada. No.
Said about like that's Canadian. All right. Anyway,
I am. It's funny enough you say that. I live in Canada. I don't know how you picked up on that.
Listen, man. You know me. I'm a dialect specialist. All right.
That's funny.
So,
one thing here before I go to the next point. Because I had that energy at the beginning and I got him to laugh. You'll notice here, and this is a small thing. It's not a huge thing. You'll notice he started joking back. Oh, you said about like you're a Canadian. Ha ha ha. I'm a dialect specialist. Ha ha ha. And I'm laughing with him. Very few sales guys are casual when they're selling something to the point where they'll just joke around, especially in the B2B sector of things. There's so many B2B sales reps that are just super. And this word, kind regards, warm welcome, blah, blah, blah. And these local business owners especially, right? This lead I'm calling, he does pest control. So he's one of these local business guys that's maybe a little bit rough around the edges, pretty assertive guy, and you have to joke around with these people. You can't be super professional. And because I joked around with him in the beginning, he's joking back with me, and now we have more of like a human to human interaction instead of just a salesman to a business owner. And the more that you can get human to human interactions with your sales processes, the more deals that you will close.
You know, if I get more money, if I make, you know, if it's going to make me money, I'll pay money for it. But how much is, like, well, I don't even know where to go now because I have no interest. I mean, you know, I answered so that I could say I don't need to borrow any money is really what I answered for. But you're a little different than that. I don't. What is it called? What you do?
Believe me, I understand if I was in your situation today, and believe me, I've been in local business myself. It's one more thing that I'm going to say here, and I know I'm stopping it a lot, but if you really listen to what I'm saying, and most of you, you're going to half listen to what I'm saying and not really try to understand what I'm actually saying, but for the maybe 10% of you guys watching this that really understand my points that I'm making, you will find a lot of value out of them, and especially you will get more cold calling results. But the other point that I was going to say, if you notice there, this guy's he's talking quite a bit. He's saying, I don't really know how to use this, and I don't really know blah, 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 and then blah, blah, blah. And I'm just letting him talk. I'm just listening to him. Just listening. I'm not even saying anything. He's talking. And when you can get the prospect to just talk about whatever they're feeling, and then have whatever you're going to say next, they will feel like they can trust you more because you're not cutting them off and halfway through when they're talking, oh, actually, our solution does blah, blah, blah. That's when they feel like they're being sold to. So if you notice here, guys, my style of selling is I want to get the prospect's guard lowered. And I do this through humor, and I do this through active listening with them. And it works like a charm when you're cold calling. So the next time, you know, a prospect is talking, don't be afraid to don't just instantly pitch your solution. Just let them talk, even if they're babbling on about something for a bit, because they will trust you more. And guess what? When they're talking, you can think about what you're going to say next and really think about, okay, this is exactly what I want to say next. Sounds a little bit crazy what I'm saying, but essentially, just so you know, we have the only high intent data solution currently for pest control companies. And what we do is quite simple. Instead of, you know, you showing ads to a normal consumer in your service area, Gene, and just kind of hoping that, you know, some of these people will be interested in pest control. A lot of them will not be. That's just the name of the game with ads. We don't really like that. We say, you know, our motto is going to be, we'll supply you the data of all the leads that in the same day have recently shown intent in actually hiring a pest control expert like yourself. And then you can essentially, you know, target them with ads on Facebook or Google and get much more affordable clients. At least that's what our
You give us their Facebook info?
Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I'm still recording. I am. One thing I'm going to say here. This is super important. If you understand this, you will sell like crazy no matter what the marketing channel that you're using. I did an okay example. I did a pretty good example of this. I could have done even better, right? So any cold call I do, I'm pretty hard on myself, so I can critique something like, even if other people are saying it's flawless, I always find something. Anyways, I'm rambling a little bit. One thing I just did here pretty good is I simplified my solution to the point where I think a 4th or 5th grader would understand it. So my solution, you guys, it helps business to consumer companies get lower CPMs on Facebook and Google. And it does that by, the data that your ads, the ads that you're running, you can use my data for, right? And you're going to get cheaper metrics because my data are the people that are actually interested in your offer and showing intent. Now, I tried to simplify it to him as best as I could, because if I went into this, you guys, and I said, our data, we get it from blah, 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 and there's this much sources about it, and, your campaign CBOs and your campaign metrics and your campaign CPMs and, your 5th ad set, blah, 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 and I used all these big technical mumbo-jumbo words, guess what this local business owner is going to think? I don't know what Justin's saying. I don't know what Justin means when he said this. So I tried to simplify. My solution is a little bit complex, so it's hard for me to do it with this offer, but I think I did a pretty good job. And so for whatever offer that you guys are selling, my friend has a great example about this, and he said it to me one time, and it stuck with me. If you're selling websites to local business owners, you guys, as an example, guess what all these web design agencies say? Okay, you need to pay $99 for hosting. You need to pay $30 for your SSL certificate, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to make more money selling to local business owners, you say you pay us $99 a month and your site will remain online for your future customers to see. Because that simplifies a very complex process of hosting down to just, hey, you pay us, your site stays on the internet. And that is such a good example. So in your cold email campaigns, when you're cold calling, when you're doing paid ads and you're targeting an audience, whether that's a B2C audience or a B2B, the more that you can simplify it, the more money you will make. Because most humans on this earth, they're not Albert Einsteins. They have, average IQs, and they want to understand things on a 2nd or 3rd grade level, especially when you're doing cold outreach.
You said you can target them on Facebook. How do I now find them on Facebook?
Yeah, so it sounds crazy. We give you the data. We give you a extremely detailed data about these people. So it's down to their name, their number, their LinkedIn, their email, their marital status, and there's something within Facebook, I'm not sure if you know this, and Google has it as well, it's called a lookalike audience. So you can upload that list of people, and you can strictly have a campaign that just shows to those people and those high intent leads. Does that help? Does that make sense, what I just said?
Yeah, that's why we don't really advertise in Facebook anyway. What we just do with Facebook is we do just the posting, and then every once in a while I'll throw a little money in it. But
yeah,
we don't really advertise on Facebook. It's just more, again, it's really just my manager and my customer service person that likes everything.
Right on.
But like no one else really, because we're not a sexy business. It's not like, oh, I like you for making sure I'm a rat. Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. That totally makes sense.
I just want to make this. I just want to try to make this clear. So what you're saying basically is that somehow you have some insight into the Google database, let's call it, stack, whatever it's called, and that you can tell. You can have detailed information for the people that. Why would anyone do anything else? I don't understand. Why doesn't everybody do this? Why is this some sort of secret?
It's a great question. It sounds too good to be true the way I'm saying it. If it was anyone else, you shouldn't be trusting anyone that says, "Oh, we can have."
No, listen. You're from Canada. Why the fuck would I trust you, bro? Anyway, I trust nobody. It's not the issue.
No, what I was saying,
I'll trust you to the effect of a certain amount of money if I believe it's enough.
Right. To answer your question, to answer your question, you have most of what we do correct. So we have a publisher network of sites like data companies like Oracle and all these other big sites that track consumers. We partnered with them, and yes, they track consumer behavior, and we sell it as a product. And we're partnered with about 20 or 30 different publishers that give us this data. And I'm sure.
How do I pay you?
So one thing I could have done, I'll admit, I could have done a little bit better of a job simplifying things. So right there I said, oh, we have all these publishers, about 20 or 30 of them, Oracle. I should have simplified it a little bit more, but I still did a decent enough job. But one thing I will say, this was about, I don't know, this was maybe 6 or 7 minutes into the call. He trusted me, but he didn't trust me enough to just instantly book. As you can see here, he's kind of giving me shit tests. He's saying, well, why doesn't everyone do this? Right? Why does anyone just run normal ads? Why don't they use high intent data and show their ads to high intent data? And that is a fair assessment. And how I handled it is I kept my cool. The prospects will listen to you more if you have an answer that actually makes sense, which I did. We have a publisher network, and they give us high intent data, and we work with companies like Oracle, right? So logically, that makes sense, what I said. And then the other thing is I said it with confidence, right? Even though I know this prospect is skeptical at this moment, I'm handling it with confidence. I'm not freaking out. I just answer it with logic and confidence. And that helps them buy into my frame more. Because he's going to start, each time I can help him, he's going to start trusting me more. And I'm slowly gaining enough trust to eventually ask for the call. How about we do this? We can talk all day. Would it offend you if we just carved out 10 minutes sometime within the next couple of days? You can see the platform and you can see the data, and we can see if it's relevant. Would that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So right here, after about 7 or 8 minutes of me genuinely trying to help this guy understand my solution, I asked for the call, and he said yes instantly. Easy. Now, what helped me also is just the way that I framed the call. I don't mean to toot my own horn, guys. I'm really just trying to help whoever's watching this video that's trying to do cold calling. But the way that I framed the call at the end helped me get the yes. So I didn't say, hey, do you want to talk for 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And, he's going to think in his mind that, oh, Justin's just going to sell me super hard on this product. Instead, because that's what everyone else does. Again, I don't want to be like every other salesman. Instead, I say, would it offend you if we just carved out, 10 or 15 minutes sometime soon, and you could just get a look at the data and kind of see what it's all about. See if it's even relevant. Those are my exact words. That's hard to say no to, man. That's so hard to say no to. Oh, you want to see if it's even relevant over, 10 or 15 minutes? It's like, who's going to say no to that? Nobody. And I purposely do that with my words. Your words have so much power in them, you guys. And this is especially true if you're targeting consumers or local business owners. Really, really big B2B people. You can still do these tactics on them, but it's especially true for the local business owners. Cool. I know you're on, okay, so we're pretty busy next week. Today, tomorrow, or Monday, we have some time. Which one of those 3 days would you have some time? Just take a look at it there. We can continue the conversation. Again, I said we can just continue the conversation. I don't want this business owner to think that it's going to be some big sales call where I'm just shoving it down his throat and just talking about all these amazing features. Because even if I didn't say these things, right, like, oh, we can just continue the conversation, he might still book in. But saying things like, you can just take a look at it sometime, see if it's even relevant. And I also just said here, we'll continue the conversation. These types of things help with the actual show up rate. You guys want to know the number one reason that a lead Why am I pointing at you guys? You guys, do you guys want to know the number one reason why a business owner won't show up to a call? It's because they think it's going to be some big sales pitch, or it's not going to be what they're looking for. So you have to treat it as, hey, we're humans. You're a human. Let's continue the conversation. We're not going to shove anything down your throat. And that's how you get people to happily show up to these calls. Okay? I have a friend, maybe he's watching this, Georgie Tishin. Something he does with his agency that stuck out to me is he labels his sales calls as an audit on their outbound campaigns. So that helps him get his foot in the door because, hey, we're just, giving an audit on your current campaigns. Worst comes to worst, you'll leave the call with a whole bunch of value. Maybe we can't even help you with anything, but, at the very least, you'll leave the call with value. And that gets so many more business owners to say, okay, I'm happy to show up to the call because I'm tired of being pitched by these guys on the internet. So you have to be the opposite of all the guys just getting people onto sales calls and shoving an offer down their throat and pitching, and you have to just go the other direction. So I hope that makes sense.
I guess Monday.
Monday. Okay, right on. You're a Monday guy. Okay, would morning or afternoon be better on Monday?
Later morning or afternoon.
Later morning. Okay, so we have a 10:30, and then we have an 11 a.m. Eastern on Monday. 10:30. Right on. All right. I just the last question I had is, what is your email there? Right on. Well, it's gonna be with myself and my business partner Cade. All we're going to be doing is just continue the conversation. We'll show you the actual product. You don't have to you don't have to pay us any money then. We'll just show you, and if it makes sense, we can talk pricing. But if not, we'll be on our separate ways. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to make an email thread with you and my business partner, Cade. And if you have any other questions, by any means, don't hesitate to reach out to me on email, or this is my mobile number. So.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah. And the last question, this is your mobile number, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Well, it was nice meeting you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. And I got the job done. Got his contact information. One of the last points I'm going to be sharing with you guys right here is there's a lot of talk about which outreach channel is the best. Should I do cold emails or should I do cold calling or LinkedIn? And truth be told, they all work. Right? In this example, I'm doing cold calling, but I've also done so much cold emails. But one thing I will say here, guys, is if you want to maximize each lead that goes through your sales processes and actually books a call with you, you have to maximize the show up rate. And it is infinitely more difficult for this lead to not show up to my call simply because I called him, I talked to him like a human for 11 and a half minutes, gave actual value, tried to help, right? And then on top of that, if you guys notice at the end, I'm saying, listen, you know what else I'm going to do for you, Mr. Prospect? I'm going to CC you into an email with my business partner, Cade, and we're going to be the ones that actually show up. So on top of everything else I just did that will help my actual show up rate, I said, listen, I'm going to email you and my business partner into one thread, and you guys can meet each other. If you have any other questions for the call, this is my mobile number, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to be as sticky and as memorable as I can possibly be into this prospect's mind. So listen, guys, when the day comes, which is tomorrow, is his actual sales call, when he actually thinks in his head about, you know what, should I show up to this call or not? Should I show up? In his mind, okay, well, Justin gave me 11 and a half minutes of value. He introduced me to his partner, Cade. I really remember him. He gave an incredible pitch that I've never really heard before, and he's going to want to show up. Opposed to just sending someone an email, hey, we can do blah, blah, blah. Are you interested? They say yes. You book a call. A lot of people don't show up when you do that. So if you want to help your show up rates, try to be as memorable as you possibly can be to the prospect. Try to give as much value to the prospect as you possibly can. And be personal with them. Treat them like humans. So that's all I have for you guys today. Okay, I know I talked a lot in this video, but everything I said, I promise, if you really listen to it and think about it and potentially apply it into this results. I promise you. I have nothing to sell right now to you. If you want to do me a huge favor, leave a like on this video and hit the subscribe button and follow me on my Twitter. I'm Justin DeVries, DEVRIES. I'd really appreciate it. Also, you guys should comment below if you want an entire cold calling guide for local businesses where I show you how to get the leads, how to get mobile numbers of leads, the exact scripts that you can use, and everything else that I've learned in my multiple years of cold calling. Comment below. If enough people want to see it, I'll just upload it for free and just give you another piece of value. So yeah, peace.